Jason, welcome to Latest News. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here today. Now, I think it's fair to say you've had a very successful year. You were associate producer of On the Other Foot, wearing the T-shirt, and I watched the movie, fantastic movie, and you've also been working on ITV's Grey Set. But before we get into all of that, let's explore the story about you. So, from what I understand, you grew up in London, and when you were a teenager, you experienced a racial attack, but you had a positive stance on this, I suppose, and this led you to lead a very successful career in security. So tell me a little bit about that, Jason.
Well, what it was, growing up in Peckham, back in the 80s and 90s, it was a bit different to even now because you used to have National Front and different things like that on your doorstep.
I bet.
So there'll be times when you would walk down the road, a car would pull up, a shotgun would come out, and they would say danced in the N-word and stuff,
wow.
and you'd have to run out. And being so close to Old Kent Road, it was, and Bermondsey, it was a bit, and obviously going out in the West End, they had marches and stuff like that. So I was involved in the incident and I almost lost my life. And it did cause me to have quite a few stitches in my throat, arm, foot, and so on. But my granddad helped me through that because he was in the army and he was at Arnhem. He was at the Battle of the Arm and he got left behind. So he basically, I had a bit of PTSD when I came out, when I got over that, and he talked to me a lot of stuff. But it made me kind of look at life to say, I want to protect people, you know what I mean? And that's when I went into the close protection side, which is like, to most people, layman's term, bodyguard.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've worked with some big people, presidents, celebrities. I've seen pictures of you with Will Smith, Rihanna, Timbaland.
Yeah, Timbaland was on and off for about 15 years. I can't work with him anymore because we're now friends.
Aww.
So it's kind of like, it could be difficult. I worked with the president of Brazil when she came over that was the ex-president of Brazil when she came over for the Olympics in 2012. So we looked after the president, working with Victor Hugo, who was head of the Secret Service.
Wow.
We did the vice president of China when she came over to do speaks regarding bringing the Chinese film industry to the UK. There's been a lot, and then obviously celebrity-wise, there's what's her name, America Ferrera, Ugly Betty. So yep, looked after her as well for the last episode of Ugly Betty. So she had a stalker. So basically, we had to be close all the time. She wanted people close all the time on that one.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it goes right the way through, and then obviously working abroad and in dangerous environments.
I bet.
Yeah, I had a few close calls. So at the end of the day, I had to hang the hat up on that one, on the close protection side, the bodyguarding side.
Sure.
And I've worked all over the world. So yeah, I hang the hat up, I went into the film set security side and kind of just grew from there. I just learned what they were doing.
Okay. And this has created a range of opportunities for you, really, because you now have your own security firm.
Yeah.
You've recently been working on ITV's Grey Set. So what's
Actually,
that
now.
Now. You were in Burgess Hill the other day.
Yeah, as we speak, we're working on that. I mean, they're actually working now. But yeah, we worked with another company, because I used to supply the security to other security companies that had the contracts. So we worked on Star Wars with one company, then we worked on Fast and Furious. We've worked on, oh God, there's so many. The list is just ridiculous. So Pirates of the Caribbean.
Amazing.
Basically, if you want to know, just go on the International Movie Database, the IMDb, type in Jason Devil, and all the projects that I've worked on will come up. But
you've worked on like over 50 projects, haven't you?
About 60 to 70.
Wow.
I mean, Grace we've been doing for now 3 years. So this is the third one. So hopefully we'll just keep continuing, and it's all based in Brighton, around Brighton, and it's fantastic. We even had the new Queen Consort come down to visit.
Wow.
So that was last year, and yeah, we got to meet her.
I heard rumours that she might be in Grace. Can you give any insight on that?
No idea, but I do know she reads the books. Yeah, she's a big fan, and she does read the books. I mean, even down to Peter James, I think he even does something for the police where he sponsors one of their police cars.
Okay.
As well, so that's good. I mean, it came to a thing where I stopped last year. I made another decision because I had a lot of staff. and it was a lot of work. And for health reasons, my doctor was like, you know what, you need to roll it back in, because I'm a hands-on. I like to do everything.
Sure.
So when you have that many people, it becomes a lot of stress.
I can imagine.
So what I did last year, as I made arrangements that I was going to give my half the business that I do all the subcontracting to my managers. So that was valued at about 2.8 million.
Wow.
So that was net, like gross, like you make the overall amount. So what I did is I helped all of my managers set up their own companies and gave them the business.
Wow.
So basically now they supply all of them other security companies that I used to. And what I do is I just do the direct jobs, like Grace. We did Damage, which was this year, which is based on the Profumo affair. So it's a remake of that one. Last year we did Harry Styles, which was Brighton, London and mostly Brighton.
Yes.
We did Man vs. Bee, which is quite funny. Rowan Atkinson's a funny man.
On Netflix.
Yeah, like we did that one last year. We helped one company. We did The Great as well, filming down in the Palace down here. And yeah, and now it's just Grace. I just do them too. And at the same time, my cousin Freddie Nwaka, he's a genius. He came up from Brixton. He was a rapper. He did all the actor, and decided to go into filmmaking. And obviously I'd made a bit of money, and the film On the Other Foot, I came into it late. So it's not about money. So I probably won't make the money that I've put into it back. I only own a small percentage of it.
Sure.
And I'm probably not gonna never see that, but I don't care, it's the message.
Definitely.
That's what it's about. I've already started, we're just finishing off a second film, but I can't go into what that is until he allows me, but I'm the executive producer of that one, so, which is really good. But as for this one, I just feel everyone needs to get behind it because it has a really strong message.
Definitely. Now, I recently watched the movie On the Other Foot, which is on Amazon Prime, and it's very cheap to rent. It's $1.99 to rent.
It's also on it's not Netflix. It's Amazon Prime. It's also on Google Play. It's on Sky. It's on Virgin, and it's on iTunes. And it's not expensive to rent. But do you know what? I've had people that literally, white people, that have gone and watched this film and come out of the cinema because it went into the cinema and it sold out quite a few cinemas. They only gave us 81 cinemas on one day for diversity.
Right, okay.
It is what it is.
Well,
but we did really well. We sold out in the cinemas. But the white people that came out, said, a lot of them were saying, I've actually thought that about seeing certain guy, a black guy driving a Porsche or whatever, is he a drug dealer, is he a hustler? He said, now when I've watched this film, now it's made me rethink. If it does that to one person, then it's a success. You know what I mean? So, but I just need more people to get behind it. I've been a bit disappointed in a lot of groups.
Well, I will definitely be recommending the movie. And for those that haven't seen it, just to sort of explain what it's about, in a nutshell, it's about a gentleman, Tim Faraday, who's been in
Billy
Legends
Picture.
and many other successful films. Him being a typical sort of EDL guy, doesn't like his daughters being with black men or...
It's ignorance. It's basically like, he listens to ska music, he thinks he's not racist. So
ska music that's got, you know, a bit
elements of black. Yeah. So he thinks he's not racist, but at the end of the day, he won't want his daughter dating a black guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he basically has to learn. So in a way, if you think of, if your audience have seen Ebenezer Scrooge, A Christmas Carol, where he's taken and shown his wicked ways to change his mind, and that's an essence of what the film is like.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So it is one of them in a nutshell, and everyone should go and see it. Yeah. And you should encourage all your white friends to go and see it too. Everyone should go and see it.
100%. Anyone should see it. I think it's relative to any race or culture, really, and it makes you rethink
and also
how you see
got to look...
other races and cultures.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you there. So I have ADHD and I'm dyslexic. So to all the people that do suffer from ADHD and dyslexia, you can get there. You know what I mean? It's not how do you put it? It's not an infliction. If you use it right, you can achieve anything. You know what I
Definitely.
mean?
And
Because
you're proof of that. You've
yeah,
achieved some
and there's a lot of
amazing things.
there's a lot of top scientists and a lot of top people that are dyslexic. It just means when something goes in your head, you have to get it out.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
We're going to take a break because we've run out of time, but when we come back, we'll talk more about On the Other Foot and some of your up-and-coming projects as well.
You're welcome.
Welcome to the Electric Cabaret Company. Allow us to take you on a journey through our sparkly, shiny world. But first, prepare yourself for the thrills, spills, and death-defying feats of the circus.
These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough. Never be enough for me.
Stunning stuff indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Perhaps, like myself, you'd enjoy a touch of vintage.
A kiss on the hand may be quite continental, but diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Like a flower bending in the breeze. Bend with me, sway these. When you dance, you have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me.
Well, if that's not got your toes tapped, then let me take you to the dark side. It's time for some rock and roll.
Satisfaction.
Crikey, you won't find me eating razor blades with my luncheon. Now it's time for something a little saucy. Dare I say it's a little bit sassy. It's time for burlesque.
Golden brown, texture like sun, lays me down. With my mind she runs throughout the night. No need to fight, never a frown.
I feel so good. I'm feeling good.
Well, thanks for dropping by, beautiful people. If you'd like to book any of our acts or a full show, you can find even more performers on our website below.
Yes, thanks awfully. Do get in touch and hope to see you in the audience soon. Toodle pip.
Okay, welcome back, Jason. So let's talk about your film On the Other Foot, which you were associate producer of. Now, coming back to that, there are some celebrities in this film, some big names like Peter Andre, Tim Faraday, who's obviously been in a range of other films as well. I'm sure I saw Peter Andre's son there, Lady Leisha.
Yeah.
It was a very good cast. So tell me a little bit about the film. How did that come about? Where did the idea come from, I suppose?
Well, the idea came across from my cousin Freddie Nwaka, the director, and basically what it was is his thing was there was a lot of people marching for Black Lives Matter, so they were all marching on the streets, and his thing is what happens when the marching stopped? The marching stopped, everything went back to normal, and there was no legacy, no nothing.
Sure.
So we can stamp our feet and we can push the racists into a corner, but what will happen is the racists, when you get pushed into a corner, what do? You fight. Yeah. You fight back. So we thought, basically his idea was this: if we did it in a comedy way and you highlight things in a comedy way, everyone watches it, but it has that underlining message. And some people that went and watched it, racist, I mean, this is out in America as well on about 20 platforms. So it's on Amazon in America too. And I had people on my Devil One Entertainment page on Facebook coming back and like want to argue, like want to say, oh, it's racist to white people. I'm like, how is it racist to white people? This stuff happens. Oh, blah, blah. They were racist, but they actually went and watched the film because they didn't realise.
Sure.
And they was like, oh, well, this doesn't have to happen. Well, it does happen. It does happen to us. If we're walking down the road, a woman might cross over. You know what I mean? We sit on a park bench, a woman might pull her bag towards us because it's the fear. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, yeah, taxi. The amount of times I've been in London and tried to stop a taxi, and they used to drive straight past.
Yeah.
And it was that kind of mentality of not understanding. And I mean, I studied a lot about Black history with Nigeria and all these different countries because I'm half Nigerian. So I looked at the whole thing, and I just think, look, we did all this marching. They did all this marching, they all knelt down, they all did this. We had all these people in parks, fist up in the air and all that. Now there's a film that's there that can actually show you. And basically, the more it's promoted and the bigger it gets, and if it gets to these people, they might look at it different.
Sure.
I mean, I got stopped by the police because I have a chrome car. Yeah, my car's chrome, like a mirror. Yeah, and I got stopped by the police, and I talked to the police, and
They stopped you because you've got a chrome car?
they said I was speeding, you know what I mean? But it was only really short distance,
Sure.
you know what I mean? So, like, but when I spoken to them and I told them about the film and everything else, they let me go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just, and the thing is like, look, people, they get this thing where, look, we get stopped by the police. Like in Scotland, you're more likely to get stopped by the police if you're white.
Yeah.
Up here, I've never been stopped by the police. I've seen lots of white people get stopped by the police, but I never get stopped by the police. It's demographics, isn't it, where the crimes are. But you can't push people into, if you push people into a corner, they're going to want to fight.
Yeah.
If you do it in comedy, but add that little, because Dave Chappelle did it, Bernie Mac did it, all of these big stand-up comedians did it. And if you do it in comedy, what happens is they have that laugh, and then they see it, and then they think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, this guy might be a doctor. This guy doing this might be something else. This guy might be doing this. But that's how the film came about. He was like, well, the marching stopped. They did all this marching, and then that was it. It went back to normal. Everything went dead.
Yeah.
But so we need something with a legacy, and, and that was his thing. What happens when the marching stops?
Also, like, I feel like, you know, sometimes the Black Lives Matter movement can be presented in quite a negative stance, and then it creates further division in terms of how it's communicated. But what I feel that your film does is show what it's actually about, which is, you know, equality for all and us being together and seeing the similarities rather than the differences.
If I was the organiser of Black Lives Matter, I would never have called it Black Lives Matter. I would have called it Black Lives Matter 2. A little word at the end saying, look, we know your lives matter, because a lot of people have immediately come out with all lives matter and everything else. But if you said, look, we know your lives matter, when you put a 2 on the end, it's saying, we know all of your lives matter, but our lives matter too, as well. You know what I mean? And that's all it says. Just the little word can make such a big difference.
Sure.
Because what happened is everybody started with this whole marching things, and then it started causing a division that set race relations, I guess, in the UK back, because you had a whole load of people that, all lives matter, and then you had them going, Black Lives Matter, and it was like, hold on a minute, in this country there is the 1965 Act, I think it is, what was amended in 1972, which is the Race Relations Act. if you're racist to somebody, they can be arrested and charged, and it's a criminal offence in this country to be racist. I know America, they need a whole load of help out there.
Yeah, that's
seriously,
a completely different
that's
game,
a completely
isn't it?
different
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, this recent shooting, I've heard that that's a murder inquiry now, and so be it.
Yeah.
And it should be,
Yeah.
because you don't just shoot people. You can't
Yeah.
just shoot people. This is not America.
Yeah.
You can't just shoot people in this country.
Yeah.
Look, when I get stopped by the police, I'm like, I've done nothing wrong,
Yeah.
so I'm fine. And as soon as I speak to them with respect, because I'm not being funny, if someone just stole my car, or as happened, my niece was murdered in 2019. She was stabbed in the back, Charlotte, God rest her soul, by her ex-partner.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we want the police. This guy's got 20 years in prison, and I hope he gets whatever he gets in prison all the time. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the justice system, if there was no police, there'd be anarchy.
Sure.
And when something really bad happens, then you need the police when you need the police. So
We just need them to,
yes. Well, we
as
need
the
more
film
black people
highlights
in the
as well.
police.
Yeah, yeah.
I played a racist
to
police
turn those
officer in the film.
stereotypes- Yeah, I know. But I was going to actually mention that there are certain stereotypes that you kind of turn upside
Yeah.
down. You being a black police officer who is questioning Billy, the main character, who is a white guy who's turned black and doesn't realise that he's, well, kind of realises is getting used to being black. And, you know, you see it from his perspective, like things that, you know, black men in particular have to deal with on a daily basis. And, you know, how an individual
Well, we
like
twist
him
on the
wouldn't
head
have to-
because you can be prejudiced too. You got to fit in. I mean, at the end of the day, what you probably do need, I mean, the institute, if you have an all-white institute, then you're going to get racist. But if you have more black people in the police, but like we're taught as kids, oh, don't join the police, oh, don't join this, don't join that.
Yeah.
I have a older brother, Cyril, who was a murder detective for 22 years. I have a brother, I'm not going to mention his name, he was a gangster, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we come from a big family.
Like your film highlights, not all drug dealers are black,
No.
you know?
Mate, some of the biggest drug dealers are not. You know what I mean?
Indeed,
Are not.
indeed.
Escobar, he wasn't a black man, you know what I mean? And the thing is, and that's what I'm saying is, if you see someone driving a very nice car, he could be a doctor, he could be a estate agent, he could be anything. If
Yeah.
you see someone, like they might see me. You know what I mean? Usually I could be in a suit, driving a really nice, expensive car or something. I'm a film producer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a film producer and a company owner and an actor. That's it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't, like me, at the end of the day, they might see you come out of here and get in a Ferrari. You know what I
Well,
mean?
whenever my hair's braided, sometimes I get treated a little bit differently to how it would be if it was out. So there
Yeah,
are...
but this opens, what we aim to do is open everybody's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've faced racism from both sides, black and white.
Me too.
Yeah, so, you know what I mean? Being light-skinned, yeah, I was called all sorts of names by black people and white people. So it was like, Jesus Christ, where do I go?
Yeah.
I'm married to a gypsy. My wife is gypsy. At the end of the, a
gypsy.
beautiful gypsy, but they face more she faced more racism than any of us.
Yeah.
Because now you can still be racist legally to a gypsy, but you can't to a black person or anyone else. You know
It's
what I mean?
amazing, you know, and as the film highlights, what we do have in common. And also, what else are you up to at the moment? I know that you've got some projects that you're cooking up.
Yeah, we kind of like, so I'm an executive producer on another film. We haven't named the title yet. It's got some familiar characters. It's filmed in filmed in here and a different country. I can't say what it is, but it's going to be spectacular. We've only got maybe a few more days of shooting, and then, yeah, it's going to be great.
Amazing.
It's
well,
gonna be great.
I would highly recommend everyone to watch On the Other Foot. We've got Black History Month coming up. You know, it's a brilliant opportunity to, you know...
If not, watch it yourself, but get your friends to watch it. Get it out there, get it... If we get it big, yeah, I don't care about if I never make a penny. I mean, it's £1 something. I don't even own a big percentage. I own a small percentage, a really small percentage. And I didn't even get paid to act in it. I just did it because of what it is.
Yeah.
And if we get it out there in America, if you know people in America, if you know people here, and we get it out there and it's mainstream, these people, everyone watches it. If it changes loads of people, even police officers' minds, then it's a great thing.
Definitely, definitely.
So stand up, all you, what do you call it, bloggers and videographers, do your thing. Get it out there.
And for more information about On the Foot, please do visit our website. There'll be a link to the film and information about it. It is definitely a must-watch.
I'll even give you the trailer.
Excellent, and we'll share the trailer as well. Jason, thank you so much for your
You're
time
welcome.
today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to following your journey and all the great things that you're doing, and keep up the great work.
Or will.
Thank you.
Take care, thank you.
So some of you may know me, my name's Billy Pitcher. So I want to start by saying that I'm British and I'm proud.
I've got loads of black mates.
Have you? Have you?
Taxi!
No chance, love.
You don't like anyone that's black. You don't like anyone of colour, actually.
Do you speak any English?
My name's Dr. Ali.
Tell you what, mate, I'm going to go, I think.
All of yous, bloody scum.
Good evening, Mr. Pitcher.
You got a problem, black boy? What are you even doing around here?
I'm black.
You're not black,
Look,
Dad.
look in there, look.
Oh, snap!
Now, this ain't funny.
There's no point doing that, mate. You won't scrub it off.
Just shut up, will you?
You mean, under all this, you are actually a white man?
Exactly.
Mom, it's a black man. Can I open it?
Hold on, I'm coming.
Geronimo, all systems go in the house in the garage.